Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including Tesla's incredible end-of-year sales, tons of new software features coming next week, how to fix Tesla's most controversial design, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, one of the best parts about owning a Tesla is getting regular software updates. And one of the best parts about December of every year is that Tesla usually ships out a holiday-specific update. This update comes with a bunch of new features, some of them very practical, some of them very fun, and others things we've been requesting for quite some time. They just released the notes for this upcoming software update and said that it will be coming starting next week, and it's very exciting because it brings a lot of features. First up, as was heavily rumored, the Apple Watch is getting an official Tesla app. You can now use your Apple Watch as your phone key, and you can also view your battery charge, open the Frunk, and turn on climate control, among other things. This is a really great way to be able to check your car's status at a glance, and it's also another way that you can use a key that's even more convenient than having to pull out your phone sometimes. Dashcam and Sentry mode just got that much better because clips that are saved on these systems can now be viewed through the app and then downloaded specifically. In the past, if you wanted to take those off of your car, you had to get them from the drive within the car and plug that into a computer, or just take a video of it from the screen, which seems to be what a lot of people do. For the new Model 3 that does not have stocks, they have implemented auto shift out of park. But for the Model S and X that don't have stocks, those have had the ability to auto shift between drive and reverse automatically. This automatically guesses that you need to do this in a situation like a 3-point turn and will shift for you once you press the brake, giving you a clear indication on screen. Now this is coming to the Model 3. They say, quote, auto shift on stockless Model 3 can now automatically shift between drive and reverse to handle parking lot maneuvers and multi-point turns. My personal question is, when is this coming to the Cybertruck, since the Cybertruck utilizes this exact same system? One feature that has been missing for Tesla's cars aside from the Model S and X has been Sirius XM, and this is now coming via streaming to the Model 3 and Y as well as the Cybertruck. One heavily requested feature is the next one, set arrival energy at destination. You can now set a preferred battery charge level for when you arrive at your destination. In the past, you would navigate somewhere, like for instance when I'm driving from Los Angeles up to the Bay Area, and it would have me arriving at my destination with 10% or less battery. It's the most efficient way to arrive, but it's assuming that I can charge once I get there. Oftentimes I would have to add my own charging stop to this, so this allows you to set a charge level that you want to arrive at, and it will automatically factor that into your charging times throughout your route. It will be much more efficient this way, and honestly this is a bit overdue, but I'm very excited to see it. Next, you can search a long route with estimated detour times. So when you're navigating, search results are now filtered to show options along your route and estimated detour times. A lot of this is normal mapping stuff that we're now seeing them add to the Tesla built-in mapping system. Then they're adding precipitation map and weather at your destination. The next one is a big one, and that's because this is a feature that most Teslas have not had ever, and that is rear cross-traffic alert. This is a heavily requested feature, and they're finally able to deliver this by way of Tesla Vision, which is really great to see. They say, quote, when in reverse, your vehicle will alert you if it detects a pedestrian or vehicle crossing behind you. An audible warning will also play if a cross-traffic object is detected. This has been one of the most requested features from Tesla, since they have so many safety features and have so many cameras, but didn't deliver this feature that is almost standard on most other cars. I'm really glad to see it. Next up for the Cybertruck, you can personalize your avatar with a custom wrap and license plate. A lot of people have customized their Cybertrucks heavily, so you can even upload what yours is into this system. That way, in screen and on the app, it will show up exactly with what your car looks like. The rear camera feed is being improved on the Cybertruck. It's going to be larger on screen, and then you can also zoom in by pinching and zooming. Tune-in radio has seen a lot of improvements. The Cybertruck now has the rear arcade, so games can be played from the back seat while driving. And then they're adding Santa mode to the Cybertruck. This is something I was surprised wasn't already there, since this has been on other Tesla vehicles for years, but they've now added it, and it of course has a little bit of a Cybertruck touch to the sleigh. One of the cool Easter egg features in Teslas is their light shows, where you can make your own or play one of their custom light shows, and previously this required you to initiate it from the screen, walk away from the car, and then see it start. And then if you wanted to start a second show, you had to enter the car again to do so. Now you're going to be able to do this from the Tesla app. On top of that, they're introducing 2 new holiday light shows for 2024. Boomerang Foo is a new game that they're adding. You can now have it set to fart on contact for emissions mode. In the controls panel, you can adjust the position of the unoccupied passenger seat, including second row seats. And then you can now view and track maintenance items from your vehicle's touchscreen. This comes alongside a bunch of other minor updates, including finding nearby parking at your destination, music volume lowering automatically when reversing to reduce distractions if you want to turn that on, Sentry mode notifications if a door handle is pulled, the energy consumption app finally coming to the Model S, X, and Cybertruck, traffic coming to vehicles without premium connectivity, and then when you arrive at a supercharger, it will automatically pop up on screen to show you which stalls are not in service so you don't waste your time backing into those. This info was previously available on screen, but you had to tap on the charger itself on screen. Now it will do it automatically. Overall, this is a very exciting update that is combining a lot of great things and bringing a lot of great features across the board for Tesla owners. As always, it's one of the most exciting parts about owning a Tesla. Your car gets better in time. But the other thing that Tesla is rolling out in software right now is version 13 of Full Self-Driving. This is a pretty big one because this is the version they talked about running at the We Robot event, and it's supposed to bring a lot of big improvements. Tesla's head of AI tweeted about this, saying V13 is looking fire, and then the release notes have officially released since it's rolling out to people aside from employees. It's version 13.2 and seems to be a little bit of a slow rollout on purpose, but it includes 36Hz full resolution AI4 video input, native AI4 inputs and neural network architectures, 4.2x data scaling, 5x training compute scaling enabled by the Cortex cluster, and more. And then for features you'll really notice, you can start FSD supervised from park with a button on the touchscreen, as opposed to having to shift to drive. Unpark, reverse, and park capabilities are integrated within the system. It will have improved reward predictions for collision avoidance. Camera cleaning is improved. It has a redesigned controller for smoother, more accurate tracking. And there's dynamic routing around road closures, which displays them along an affected route when they're detected by the fleet. Those are a lot of big improvements, but there's a lot more expected to come in a very soon upcoming release for version 13.3 or whatever it may be. A lot of this has to do with the scaling of it, but it also includes audio inputs for better handling of emergency vehicles, improved reward predictions for navigation, improvements to false braking and slower driving in parking lots, support for destination options, including pulling over, parking in a spot, driveway, or garage, efficient representation of maps and navigation inputs, and improved handling of camera occlusions. Right now, camera occlusions are still an issue where it will pop up constantly on screen to warn you that a camera needs to be clean. It seems like that is going to be improved. There's already quite a few videos of version 13.2 in practice from users, and it seems to be doing incredibly well. AI Driver posted a few videos of it backing itself into a supercharger stall, and they said they tried to get it stuck here with no luck. That's because this system can fully go into reverse and do 3-point turns or more. Dirty Tesla was a bit speechless when his car pulled into a GameStop, automatically chose a spot, and parked into it perfectly for him. Right now, it seems like parking is mostly for parking lots in this case, but they are working on garages for the future. Tesla's head of AI said, quote, "We're working on parking options, including garages." Chuck Cook also posted about his experience so far, saying he's not seeing any safety issues and that they should ship it. Of course, we'll see as more people use this system if there are any issues that pop up, and that's why Tesla rolls this system out slowly, but it's very exciting to see here. It seems version 13 is delivering in a lot of ways, and it's getting us that much closer to the dream of a robotaxi. If they can really pull it off, it will be absolutely incredible, but as always, time will tell. In the meantime, every Tesla owner is getting that holiday update, and I can't wait to see that. Next up today, Tesla has made a big change that will affect all buyers. As part of their effort to drive record sales this quarter, for the first time ever, they are offering a lease buyout. In the past, Tesla has not allowed a lease buyout because they always believed their cars would become robotaxis. Customers would return them and they'd put them onto their own fleet. Well, things have taken time there, and the lease buyout is actually a big thing holding back many customers from purchasing a Tesla in this way. For some, making the plunge to go electric is risky, and they're unsure if they want to do so long term. That's where a lease comes in, but if they find they truly love the car in 2 or 3 years and want to keep it, they want that option. Tesla was one of the only companies that wouldn't allow a lease buyout, so for those who wanted that flexibility, they may have just gone elsewhere. Now they say, quote, "With a lease buyout, you can purchase your vehicle at the end of the lease. Starting November 27, 2024, all leased vehicles are eligible for purchase. Starting November 27, 2024, all leased Cybertruck, Model S, Model 3, Model X, and Model Y vehicles are eligible for purchase. Third-party dealerships are eligible to purchase leased vehicles. Note, Iowa and Louisiana are not eligible for lease buyout. A purchase fee of up to $350 applies to all vehicles. Local taxes and fees apply." This is a pretty exciting change to see, especially since there are many incredible leasing deals available from Tesla today. The Model Y and 3 each have leases starting at $299. That actually drops to an estimated $285 a month when using someone's referral link for $1,000 off, but in my scenario jumps up to $323 a month when adding in taxes and fees. Keep in mind that my taxes and fees are for California, so it may be quite a bit lower for you. In this scenario, you can get a rear-wheel drive Model 3 for $323 a month after $5,802 due at signing. After 36 months, you will have paid $17,430 for the car, and then you'll have the option to buy out for an additional $27,872 plus taxes and fees and a purchase fee of $350. When including all of those taxes and fees, it's not better than buying, especially not with 0% APR, but it could be a great way for some to have a low monthly payment and then have flexibility 36 months down the road. For the Model Y, you could see basically the exact same monthly payment for a rear-wheel drive long range, and then that full buyout is $27,682. I do expect the Model Y in this configuration to be extremely popular going into the new year, since its tax credit situation and general price will likely change next year. It's expected to have a large refresh at the beginning of 2025. For the Cybertruck, customers get $2,000 off with a referral link, and Tesla just dropped leasing prices to $899 a month for all-wheel drive and $999 for the Cyberbeast Tri-Motor. That's for $7,500 down, 36 months, and 10,000 miles a year. With that referral link discount and estimated taxes and fees added in, the lowest monthly payment I see for myself is $963. That's still a great improvement over just a few weeks ago when it started at $999 before taxes and fees. Here you'll have $11,952 due at signing, and then the buyout comes in at $53,590 plus taxes and fees. Again, keep in mind that my taxes and fees are for California, so it may be quite a bit lower for you. One thing for the Cybertruck that is somewhat speculation at this point, but seems quite likely, is that under a lease it would qualify for the federal EV tax credit. This has been a loophole for many buyers, but here it goes to the dealer and then Tesla includes it as part of your lease pricing. When totaling up this Cybertruck lease cost, you're looking at $46,621 for your 36-month lease, then an additional $53,590 at least, plus taxes and fees for the buyout. So you'll still be a bit over $100,000, but it could still prove to make sense for you, especially with interest rates at 5.99% if you chose to finance instead. All of this to say, Tesla has a ton of deals going on right now, and leasing may finally be something people actually want to do, since Tesla has added much more flexibility there. The referral program still works, getting you $1,000 off a Model 3 or Y, or $2,000 off of their other cars, and they are still offering 0% APR for the Model 3 and Y with certain loan lengths. I'm very curious to see how the rest of this quarter shapes up and how many more deals and incentives they may add before the end of December. Right now, if you buy, you get 3 months of FSD and 3 months of free supercharging, and maybe we'll see them extend that or make referral discounts even steeper. Next up today, one of Tesla's most controversial design choices is one that is about to become standard across their entire fleet once they refresh the Model Y, stockless steering wheels. For many customers who have this updated design, which involves shifting on screen and using blinker buttons on the steering wheel, it's something you truly do get used to. For others, though, they want their stocks, and it may even be a deal breaker as to buying an upgraded Tesla. Overall, I really like the blinker buttons and don't mind shifting on screen, but there are scenarios where it doesn't really make full sense, like roundabouts or anytime you need to turn quickly and then signal. In those scenarios, good luck finding the right blinker button. The other odd thing is their mix of these being touch-sensitive buttons with haptic feedback, or being real tactile buttons. Right now on my Cybertruck, these are real buttons, but on my Model 3, they are touch-sensitive. On the Model 3, I've had at least 3 or 4 times where they actually don't work. I try to signal right, and no matter what, I can't get it to work. That's something I'm going to bring up with service, but either way, some people want their stocks, and the Model Y is the last Tesla to include them. It's expected that with the Juniper refresh in 2025, these will be gone for good. That's where third-party accessories can help, and Enhance Auto just released their new stocks add-on for Tesla vehicles. This company has the S3XY Knob and S3XY Buttons, which are really great add-ons for your Tesla. I talk about them in my accessories video, which is linked below, but now they have introduced these sexy stocks. As with their other add-on buttons, you can execute over 60 functions, but here it installs to the steering wheel and is a classic stock to engage controls, blinkers, and gear shifting. It's cool to see a third party adding buttons back to Tesla vehicles fairly easily for those who want them, and it could be the perfect solution for some. Tesla's goal seems to be eliminating all input, but some people want their cars with buttons, and this enables that. It's a pretty cool solution, so if this has been holding you back or you've really wanted this, it now seems to be an option. I'm very curious to see how popular this is, and if Tesla long-term may add a retrofit back to their cars for those that really want stocks. Last up today, some updates from other automakers. As automakers rush towards making their more affordable vehicles in order to drive sales, Lexus is the latest company to announce a major price cut on one of their vehicles. The luxury automaker has just announced a new entry-level trim of their 2025 RZ vehicle that comes in $10,000 cheaper than ever before. The new 300e front-wheel drive trim starts at $43,975 and still gets that same 266 miles of EPA range. From there, the more expensive and luxury-oriented trims see their ranges drop down to 220 miles and, in one case, 196 miles. That range isn't great, but it's still manageable if you intend to just use it in town, although many will still pass when they see the range is below 200. This car has been upgraded to feature a smoother ride, and higher trims feature things like a heads-up display and an advanced Mark Levinson sound system. By default, all trims of this car come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. $10,000 is definitely a significant price drop, but we'll have to see how much this impacts sales. That range still seems to be unacceptably low to most customers, especially for a vehicle that costs over $40,000. Over at Honda, they have exceptional deals for the end of the quarter on their Prologue EV, just like Tesla is running. It's nearly $50,000 new, but you can get it for $229 a month as a lease in the US. This EV has actually become one of the top-selling non-Tesla EVs in the US, with 12,644 sold in Q3, outpacing the Ioniq 5, Chevy Equinox, VW ID4, and Toyota BZ4X. It was beat by the Model Y, Model 3, Cybertruck, and Mustang Mach-E. This lease is now available in 17 states and includes $1,000 bonus cash for current Honda leasees and those leasing from rival brands. You can get a Prologue with up to 296 miles of range, so if you're interested, it could be worth looking into. Right now, it's more affordable than Tesla's lowest Model Y lease, but of course, these deals are ending right after the new year. Over at Hyundai, they have unveiled their Ioniq 9. This is a full 3-row SUV for the US and looks very compelling. It has a 110 kilowatt-hour battery, delivering up to 335 miles of range, has charging up to 350 kilowatt speeds, does 0 to 60 in as little as 4.9 seconds, and is set to release in the spring of 2025. Overall, it seems quite similar to the EV9 in many ways, as it's built on the same platform. One of the coolest features it delivers is second-row swiveling seats, allowing second and third-row occupants to face each other. So far, pricing hasn't been unveiled, but given what this car includes in certain trims, it is estimated to be pricier than the EV9. It will also have a towing capacity of 5,000 pounds, and of course features infotainment and such in line with Hyundai and Kia's other vehicles. Most likely, most customers will be using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Overall, this is an exciting vehicle to see, and Hyundai really has been releasing some great electric vehicles. It should prove to be a good competitor to vehicles like the Model X, and maybe something that further forces Tesla to make a truly competitive, boxier, 3-row SUV for larger families. They've talked about it recently, so we'll see if they make something, or if brands like Hyundai, Kia, and Rivian hold that market for the near future. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see all the accessories I recommend for the Model 3 and Y, including end-of-year deals, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.